whenever the massages start coming out. So that's good news for the Shopify fans.
He was massaging them after game 1 as well.
Well, I didn't see that one.
And it didn't work in game 2 or 3.
I reject your reality and replace it with that. First time I'm noticing it on camera. Well, let's see if it works out this time around for them.
Same stylus ban, all 4 games so far.
You got to respect
His
it,
stylus is nasty, so I think it does make a lot of sense.
And he's already been doing really well in this series, so you just want to keep it off the table completely. As always, I'm so glad you covered those drafts, Raz, because I am always super curious to see what Red are going to pull out on Red side specifically, especially with, as we already talked about, some of those constant permaban picks, specifically the Pantheon. In some cases, the Aurora still on the table. It's going to be first pick Sion for Fudge.
That's not surprising to me, but...
All 3 games so far, it's just been the top side of both teams picked in the first 3.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising to see Sion first pick, and then I wouldn't be surprised if all top sides picked here from Red.
FNB is really flexible, and I know he's played Cho'Gath top, and I would honestly would love to see that. I don't know how you feel about that matchup or if you guys ever practice it, but Cho'Gath is so free into Sion because you can cancel all his Qs.
Like, there it is.
Yeah.
The prediction.
To me, like this is, if I want to play tank versus tank top and they blind pick Sion, I think Cho'Gath is like giga counter. It's just, it's one of these picks where you scale so well, but you cannot be punished in the 1v1 at all. And so to me, it just gives you a super free lane, and then you can have more value sometimes later on.
Another counter pick for
I actually really love it.
See
I think
if
it's super
FNB is
smart.
able to make this one work. Yeah, it fits, but what do they pair with it now? Because APA, you said it had been
You can
top
pair
down.
anything. Sion just, I think you can kind of slot in a Cho'Gath.
Beefy boys.
Any other tank.
Vi is available, but I don't know if you want to pick it.
Now you probably don't.
We got 2 beefy boys already in the draft, so like
You want hyper carries.
you need damage from Shopify right now.
What? Yeah, but also on the side of Red, right? Both teams kind of need the same thing, where it's like if you're gonna do, like a 4 protect 1 or a 3 protect 2, whatever, you need to have high damage. So what would you be thinking about as Palafox and as Kaze for mid lane picks?
I mean, for mid lane picks, I really don't know. Like, I feel like so much is pinched right now, and then all like the high DPS champs are down. Ryze is down, Yoan's down, Azir's down.
What about like a Tristana or something?
So like you can go down the Tristana route if you can find AP jungle, but you have to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Like a Tristana Zyra or something?
Yeah, we saw that earlier today from G2,
Yeah.
I believe it was. And that's actually what I was going to ask you, is because
actually
as
like
a
that.
mid laner, it feels like a lot of the AD options have kind of fallen off. And that's possibly why we aren't necessarily seeing as many AP jungle picks. But do you think something like that would be viable? Obviously, they already locked in the Ezreal, which we joke about Bvoy not liking to play, but it is one of his
most
best
hated
picks.
pick.
Yep.
Second most played.
I do remember, like, talking about damage, Zyra's nothing but damage.
Yeah.
And she had a good matchup in a Skarner in the past, so, maybe if Contractz is feeling it a little bit, he can go for it.
Yeah, my only concern is in this position. I was gonna say like, if they were gonna do it here, it's like if you lock Trist here, then I feel like they're gonna be, banning out, one side and the other. So you almost have to do them as a duo, right?
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that we didn't get to see the Zyra lock in now, because now Red Canids could just take out the AP junglers that they feel like they can deal with best, or anything that can deal with the front line
Jace ban.
as good as possible.
I mean, Jace did get buffs on this patch. I think
He's also, like, known. Palafox is known to play Jace.
Yeah.
But would you want to play Jace into that comp? I feel like Jace is not gonna get you through that front line.
You wouldn't
Not
necessarily.
really.
That's why I'm
It's like a
thinking.
poke comp, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily want to play it into this comp, but it is an AD option for a potential really
Zyra. Whatever.
Zyra brand
I mean,
AP jungler.
I'm really worried about Shopify damage perspective.
Me too.
Like,
Yeah,
you're gonna
same.
have 2 beefy boys.
Ezreal versus tanks is just yuck.
Like, Viktor's probably gonna go the royal build that you always see.
Yeah.
So 3 beefy boys in my opinion. And then you have like Ezreal Sion right now. Like, you don't have much damage going
Oh,
for Viktor.
Zyra ban's really good.
Very good.
I think it's
so
really good.
now that they didn't go the...
If I'm playing Sion into this game, I feel invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling to think about what they would pick that would make me not want to play this game.
It almost feels like for
as the
me,
Cho'Gath.
for Shopify, they would want to go towards the Cassio route, but the lane versus Viktor, I'm not too sure about.
It's playable. Like,
Yeah.
You have to be really skilled in the matchup. Like, if you're quad playing the matchup, quad could pull it off. But like,
Otherwise, you're just gonna get
Palafox
lasered
does
down.
play Cassio, but he's not like a comfort him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really worried that they're just going to go for some kind of like default pick that just slots in and then they don't have enough damage. But I do think the Zyra ban was really smart. I mean, people are not playing a lot of brand jungle, but it's like you need that kind of damage, I feel like, coming out of your jungle to make this work. When we have Alistar, Sion, Ezreal to kill 3 super tanky champions on the other side.
I'm thinking what's left. Maybe is Lilia something that then you would lean on to
Lilia is
like
good versus
option?
heavy melee teams and stuff, but I also feel like Lilia is pretty particular.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Right now,
She's
the champion.
really squished too. Oh,
And then we're talking about damage. Zeri's nothing but damage.
Wow.
Red's pump is looking scary, I'm not gonna lie.
You know what's funny? They have enough. They have enough front line where they can just go Zeri, Lulu as well. By the way.
Zeri, Lulu, Zeri, Yuumi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can do what they want on the Enchanter realm. Oh, don't do it.
If we go Vi Ahri, I feel like it's cooked.
That's just not
Vi
gonna be a lot
Ahri.
of damage. Yeah. I mean, at that point, you have to get so far ahead in the early game.
I mean, you want damage. Ziggs is nothing but damage as well. That champ pumps so much damage. Like, I mean, you all know I'm the Ziggs guy. Like, it's a solid mid lane matchup. You can go even. You can go a little bit ahead if you play well. Like, you do so much damage to the front line. It's a good Ziggs pick.
How do you feel about like the 5v5 though? You know, with like Skarner and Cho'Gath just kind of walking at you, are you worried at all? I mean, obviously Vi is going to bring some percentage HP damage, can actually do pretty well against tanks.
If you can stay ahead of the curve this game, which I think it is a good Ziggs matchup.
Oh!
Okay.
Really interesting Pyke pick.
So yeah, there was the Lulu hover and then the Pyke locked in. We know Frosty has a pocket Pyke. We talked about it earlier today briefly, and now we get to see it on stage. Pyke Zeri.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Ziggs can get ahead of this game, he can have enough damage. But I think, like how you've seen Palafox has been falling so far behind in these matchups, it's going to be scary. Like you're playing it behind Ziggs, potentially behind Ezreal. Like, you know, if you fall behind for Red this game, it's going to be so hard to come back. You just lack so much damage.
Absolutely agree. So we'll see if Shopify can have a good early game or if Red are going to close this series out. Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, Lounge. That front line on Red Canids Kalunga is looking beefy in this one. If you're Shopify, I 100% agree with what they were just saying. You cannot afford to fall behind in this one.
Yeah, Jatt, I need a like massage or something. I'm more stressed.
Let's get Devontae up here.
I'm way too stressed going to this game because I think Red have really good answers. When I saw the Ezreal and, you know, we're like, how are they going to get through the Skarner and the Cho'Gath? I mean, the Ezreal can stay safe from them, but doesn't kill them exceptionally fast.
No, and I was stressed partway through game 3. So I'm ahead of you here, and I feel like Red has been very good and versatile at drafting. I love their drafts in game 2 and 3. I love the way they opened up this draft, but I was really hoping that either the Zyra hover did get locked in. I was hoping that maybe they'd have a bit more of a hyper carry instead of Bvoy's Ezreal. I think the Ziggs might salvage it. Cassio could also salvage it. So as the desk was saying, the lounge was saying, Shopify just has to play better early game, which is another reason why I'm stressed, because they've lost all 3 early games this series.
So I do want to point out that Vi is a more versatile champion than a lot of people give credit for, as we get some nice grass procs on the top side of the map. But Vi definitely can, you know, go a long way, actually, if you just queue into the front line and proc your denting blows and try and, you know, shred some armor that way, especially if you also buy a Black Cleaver. You can also, you know, add that on top, and it will, you know, soften them up a bit. And then you go for your ultimates at precise moments when your Ziggs is ready to ult over the top. So there is a bit of element of assassination with this comp. When you Vi ult plus a Ziggs and Ezreal ultimate over the top, that can assassinate a Zeri. Remember back to when Zeri basically took over League of Legends.
The pentakill Pikachu.
When she was released. The biggest answer that people came up with, even when she was at her most OP, is with Vi and damage that will assassinate her following up on the Vi ultimate. And so you have to be quick with timing it, though, because Ziggs and Ezreal ultimates do have delays, and so you have to instantly, you know, follow up, but that can be a way that Shopify can find success in this game. They can also, you know, try and just delete the Viktor as well, but usually Viktor, I expect Viktor at least to build fairly tanky this game and have some decent base HP.
Yeah, I agree that that has to be the game plan, and it does fit with the way their champions go. We were expecting maybe the Lulu to go with the Zeri, but I do feel like Red was needing some playmaking. It was potentially too passive, even if it's this idealistic 5v5 team fighting comp, if they had a Lulu to go with the Zeri. So as much as we're talking about the team fight theory, step 1 is lane. Because
Yes.
And Shopify have failed the last couple games in lane phase.
they absolutely have. I don't think that Fudge is in a winning matchup. I completely agree with Ezreal. It's something that has been picked fairly often when you have a Cho'Gath player, so it's a great matchup in the top lane. And it's also Ezreal, Alistar. None of these matchups speak to Shopify being able to win, so they just need to outplay.
And my eyes, in particular, are on Palafox in the mid lane. APA was talking about how Ziggs into Viktor, you should be able to go even in this matchup. If you're really locked in, you can get a little bit of a lead, but just making sure that he's staying relevant with the overall pace of the game, because since you don't have a hyper carry marksman in the Ezreal, because you're gonna need so much damage from mid lane, I think the pressure is really on Palafox to make sure he can provide that firepower.
All right, talk about lane phase though.
Bvoy!
They got a lot of damage onto Rabelo. That Zeri is very low and running double movement summoner spells, so Rabelo had to back off for a little bit, but comes back in for that cannon.
Ooh, nicely done there. Jumping in from Contractz, trying to just be aggressive towards Doom, recognizing that his bottom lane has the advantage down there so that he can play aggressively into the enemy jungler. And now Bvoy and Seos also going to find a nice chunk onto Frosty. Shopify Rebellion, total control over the bottom side river early.
Yeah, and because they pushed him completely out, not to mention Rabelo never recalled, they're just going to continue to put pressure on him. Either he goes back to base and misses the wave, or they kill him. Okay, he got back.
All right, he's out of danger.
Pyke.
Yeah, we got Frosty with a pull into the turret. Contractz. Pretty big error here. Might just get punished all the way. Frosty would have needed one more auto attack to seal the deal, and Contractz barely escapes.
Lulu can't do that.
Kobe, are you okay?
Perhaps. Kobe?
Yeah, what's up?
You all right, brother?
Oh man, that was close. All right, no first blood though.
Palafox!
Oh, Palafox nearly getting a kill into Kaze there. Takes him down to about 70 HP. 0 mana left on that Viktor. The teleport will be forced back here now as Palafox wants to try to shove out the rest of the wave before he takes his own recall.
Okay, yeah, gonna finish up pushing. Viktor, honestly, with his teleport back, yeah, he is going for that beefier build we kind of expected. Rod of Ages, probably, and double Ruby Crystal start for him feels very nice to get that base HP layered on for a bit of extra safety. And nobody blue flashes in mid lane, so they both still have some evasive maneuvers. Contractz, though, when you don't have your flash on Vi early, then you kind of do have to wait for your level 6 for gank. Usually pre-6, you're also threatening because you can Q flash on people, but
yeah.
He's not going to have that weapon anymore because Frosty was able to get a nice pull on him under tower. Fudge under tower as well. Just FMB getting one more grass proc.
Yep, FMB scaring Fudge back. There's no mana left on the Sion to try to retaliate against the Cho'Gath. Of course, FMB without his ulti doesn't have kill threat onto Fudge either, so Fudge can make sure that he gets all the way back, makes his first purchase. It was just a Giant's Belt there, picked up for FMB. Over on the other side, Fudge just going to go for Ruby Crystal plus Null Magic to resist all of that magical damage that Cho'Gath brings to the table in these trades.
Yeah, you got to take your small wins. Fudge is winning the grass boar, 11-9.
Okay.
So he's slightly more health from his runes. He's doing fine in this early bit of the matchup against Cho'Gath, but Cho'Gath's scaling is also just really insane in these tank versus tank matchups. Looking for this first play of the game. Unfortunately, when Bvoy and Seos pushed Rabelo out of lane, they couldn't get his flash or his ghost, so the return gank isn't that easy.
Doom is looking towards this mid lane, looking for Palafox, who forces the flash there. The Ishtal impact nearly connecting. If Palafox doesn't flash that, it would clip him on the very edge of the hitbox.
It was good timing on the gank. Palafox had used his W earlier, so he couldn't use it to disrupt the Skarner or bounce himself out, so he absolutely had to use that flash.
Yeah, he's going for these combo trades onto Kaze, trying to get Kaze on low health, and is working through the refillable potion.
Okay, Doom sees Contractz on the approach here. Did still have the rock picked up with his tail, so was ready to try to go for a quick bursty trade there onto Contractz, who just continues walking all the way back away. Frosty tries to continue being annoying here on this Pyke, just constantly throwing out the bone skewers, harassing Seos and Bvoy. When we're comparing the farm down here, it is actually the biggest individual gold lead in the game. Bvoy up over Rabelo because of the early control they had over that lane, forcing Rabelo back. But now Doom, level 6 on the Skarner, wants to contest the enemy blue buff. Palafox is rotating rotated over first, but the Impale finds Contractz, decimating with a nice knockoff. Doom is going to be in some danger. He tries to get away. The first blood goes over to FNB, but it's a 1-for-1 here so far as Palafox is now forced back by the Cho'Gath. Rabelo died in the bottom lane here at the same time as Bvoy and Seos are trying to make it 2, but they will not have the damage. Kaze following after Palafox, but he cannot go further.
The Shopify bottom lane, the pressure finally actually results in a kill for them. And I have to say, Bvoy has been playing this bottom lane so confidently, so well. He has a CS lead, he's pushing in. They get their kill down there as well, so extra money into the Ezreal.
Yeah, let's see which we get the replay of. He's sitting on Cull Tier and a dagger right now, so this is all about the base damage he has on this kit. Just lands an early Q, stacks up his passive, gets another W auto, and then flashes for the final Q. Just perfectly done.
That was beautiful from him. He even landed right when they started the replay, the very first Q at the beginning, all the way past him. He landed every single Q, every single skill shot there from Bvoy. That's what you're going to have to do if you want to get the advantage back in the series. Shopify will start up the grubs and will kill them off.
He might not like playing the Ezreal, but I like watching him play the Ezreal. Bvoy is very adept at this champion. As Shopify Rebellion now, finally, they're going to be the ones with control over the grub pit. This has been an objective that Red Canids has just always been first to throughout this entire series, and now Shopify are going to collect 3 grubs compared to nothing. Of course, this game doesn't have the same level of split pushing threat from either team that some of the previous games in the series have had, but the grubs will always be nice, especially since we still have all of this time left before the plates fall to try to mine some extra money early on for Shopify.
All right, repeats on bottom side. Definitely an option here since Skarner on bottom side once again. And Doom, after finishing clearing down towards the area for Dragon, since they have mid lane push at the moment as well, he definitely has a couple of options. Skarner, of course, there are wards inside the Dragon Pit as well, and so he's just going to pull it on out here and start it up. Mid lane pressure allows him to do so, but bottom side?
Seos immediately jumps in. Bvoy ready to follow, and they knock Frosty down to 40% HP. Doom and Kaze still working on this first Drake. Is a Chemtech Drake, not the most valuable that it could be, as now Contractz and Palafox want to try to take a fight here with a 2v2, but the Mega Inferno Bomb only really hits Doom. Contractz backs away. The Impale collides onto Seos, but he's got the Unbreakable Will. Doom very low, and the Feudal Warfare is claimed by Bvoy and Shopify Rebellion as the bottom lane rotates over to win the fight.
Not the cleanest combo, but they are getting a lot of damage down onto Doom, and Bvoy being the recipient of these kills is really accelerating his Ezreal. So from the very early game, they were able to get a lot of prio, and I mean, Bvoy with these double buffs now is going to continue to try and punish the bot lane.
He's working some magic right now for Shopify. Also, you know, it's good from the mid-jungle duo of Shopify on the top side, starting at the fight, using the Vi ultimate through the Viktor onto the Skarner here and making the call. Both Seos and Contractz kind of working together to make sure they can actually lock up the kill onto the Skarner and bring him down and really keep this Ezreal ahead of the curve.
This Bvoy Ezreal does not want to go home after today's series. He wants to keep competing. He does not want the year to end here today. As Red Canids, they're going to go ahead and start up the Drake here yet again. Shopify does still have a little bit over a 1,000 gold lead. They have already collected that first feat of warfare for the 3 kills that they've got for themselves. TP from Palafox returning back to the mid lane now with Blackfire Torch completed.
Yeah, but they're just going to try and get these feats completed here. There's big pings down onto that top turret that Bvoy did. He's trying to shove this wave in as fast as possible and just get damage started here on the side lane. So they gave up that Drake, but because they already have the 3 grubs, they want that first turret to fall faster.
Exactly. The power of the grubs to melt through these plates is just more and more money in Bvoy's pockets. Seos staying right next to him, ready to do the headbutt pulverize combo onto Frosty and punish this Pyke if he steps forward to harass.
Yeah, they bring 4 people over here to keep the zone up. That does mean Viktor, you can see on the minimap, actually gets a mid-wave in, but Seos?
Okay, Seos jumping in after Frosty as immediately Bvoy wants to follow it up. Shopify Rebellion taking a fight, but it's underneath the enemy tier 1 turret. Contractz, Vault Breaker back over the wall, getting himself away. Kaze reinforcing here with the TP as Palafox flashes to avoid the Bone Skewer.
So that is definitely worth it for Shopify because they do wait a second, the repeat.
We are not done yet. Seos jumps in, headbutt pulverized. Frosty with a face check, and he gets punished. Now Seos flash for the auto attack, stun, follow up from Contractz. Kaze gets caught too. Rabelo and Doom can't do anything in return, and Shopify Rebellion pick up another 2 kills.
And this is Shopify being clutch right now, trying to have the bounce back. Palafox going to be able to finish off this turret with the next Ziggs W. Any minute now. He's going to deny a few CS, you would hope, but Rabelo is able to get the cannon, and that's just a massive lead. This is far and away the best early game Shopify's had all series.
So since they are clutching up, does that mean they still piss you off, or now they don't?
For those of you who missed it, yes, in Game 3 I said this team pissed me off because they have only won 41% of their games throughout the entire regular season, but then they beat teams in the playoffs when it matters. But it annoys me because they do lose so many of their games, and since technically they start split bad and end splits well, do you count this as the start of a split? That's where I'm concerned.
This series is a split of its own?
The LTA championship is almost like a new split, so that's where the concern comes in. And there is honestly still a little bit of concern because they need to keep this advantage going with the Ziggs and the Ezreal.
Well, the good news is that they do have all of these kills in the correct locations. They have it in their DPS that is going to look to play that assassination style I was talking about with the Vi. Vi ultimate into a Ziggs and Ezreal ultimate is going to have a lot of punch behind it. Or even when people are face striking Seos, Seos Alistar combos have been great setup.
Ooh, Seos, though, in a little bit of trouble now. Ezreal ulti flies through. Seos with the Unbreakable Will, trying to make enough extra distance to get away from the red Canids collapse, but they really want this Alistar. Seos falls. Frosty takes the kill on that one. Bvoy's got to be a little bit mindful now. Frosty seeing if there's any more to maybe find here with the Bone Skewer. Goes after Bvoy, but he can't get him. One more Mystic Shot might do it, but Bvoy does not land it. Now Contractz trying to fight back, but he's grabbed in by the Impale from Doom. Contractz tries to escape, but he's Cho'Gath food. Bvoy sidesteps another rupture. No matter if his teammates fall, Bvoy stays standing.
Yeah, he's got dancing shoes on. That play was 4 people from red, though. They commit so many people, it's going to leave a lane open. At first it was top lane, Fudge pushed that lane in, then Kaze went to respond to it, so that leaves mid lane open, and Palafox's Ziggs does destroy the turret. So each time you commit heavily to one of these side lane plays, there is going to be pushing elsewhere, and getting that tower gold alleviates some of the kill gold that red just got. And so Shopify do get something back and open up more territory to work with. When the towers do go down, that's more area for a Vi Ziggs Ezreal combo to actually get pulled off. Still though, red finding those kills is exactly what they want to do. They chase down the Alistar and then follow it up. Just keep the play going and keep that blood flowing.
And just the confidence that they'd be able to win the fights. I feel like they just outplayed Shopify in the extended fight because Shopify was trying to extend that play so Ziggs could take the turret, but Contractz missed his Q, red seemingly landed everything, and the extended play really went in their favor. But because they're still so far behind on the map and because they had 4 people bottom lane, they don't have enough people back to even think about contesting this Rift Herald.
Yeah, with the Rift Herald plus a Ziggs comp, that is a really potent combination. I usually want to see them used on side lane secondary turrets. Those are the most valuable turrets because a Rift Herald charge damage. Wait a second.
Oh, this could be trouble for Doom. Getting caught out here a little bit by Seos and Contractz, but they don't want to completely overcommit to just a Skarner. Palafox under pressure from Kaze, who's found his way onto the enemy mid laner. It's disaster for Shopify as they overextend trying to make this play. Now the wraparound coming in from FMB as Rabelo barely escapes the Mystic Shot off to the side. Palafox in the middle of 3 about to drop. Rabelo dies to Fudge, and now Bvoy's got to do a lot of work, but he gets grabbed to the 2-man Impale. Massive play from Doom as Red Canids are gonna fully wipe Shopify Rebellion off of this map. Frosty's just wasted Fudge's time. He dunks him down with the X marks the spot, and Red Canids even this game up.
The Impale into the gravity field there at the end. Doom finds Bvoy. He takes down the Ezreal.
And watching this, Palafox tries to walk through the Viktor as they all had committed onto Doom Skarner. So that pushes Palafox out to the back of the fight. I'd say Bvoy nearly has a hero moment on the bottom side of the fight here into Rabelo, but the fight is such a disaster at this point with Contractz already being down and Palafox being trapped in the middle of the team. This may say Shopify versus Red, but it's reminding me a lot of the Shopify versus 100 Thieves games because it felt like no matter what happened in those games, 100 Thieves was winning the fights, and that's what's happening here with Red, winning a fight with a massive gold lead.
Definitely huge for them, getting a bunch of extra gold here, cleaning them all up.
Man, oh man, Shopify Rebellion are regretting that one. Red Canids Kalunga now, they were over 3,000 gold behind 14 minutes into this game, and now they're the ones looking to make the plays on Shopify as the North representatives try to maintain control over the neutral areas of Summoner's Rift. The next Drake is alive. It's a 1-0 Drake count for Red Canids so far, 8-7 in kills, favoring Red.
Yeah, I mean, before that fight, Shopify had about a 3,000, a little bit over gold lead, and Red just deleted that gold lead immediately. Let's take a look at the setup here, though. Fudge does have his Sion ultimate ready.
Okay, Frosty wants to go for the Bone Skewer, but he does not find a target. Rift Herald summoned up here in the mid lane. Typical Herald as a dragon distraction play. This is going to give Shopify the opportunity to try to take more territory here in the bottom side river, but they do get the flash out of Kaze with the threat there from Fudge's ulti. Doom still here in the jungle. Remember, he can tunnel through the walls very easily. That's what he's going to do, but the tier 2 turret is already down. Now Contractz is going to take the Uber home.
Yeah, nice macro play right there, using the Rift Herald and the Ziggs to get an inner tier 2 turret. Very fast play. I don't think this Drake is free by any means, but he might be trying to get this bot lane turret started as well, and a fight.
Wait, we got the fight already. Nope, not quite. No full commit just yet. Frosty throwing out the Bone Skewer. Big Mega Inferno Bomb nearly kills Frosty. Close isn't good enough. Shopify Rebellion still full HP bars here. Have found some significant chunks onto Red Canids, but now Shopify are going to start up the objective. Zap fires through the wall, only really hits Fudge. FNB and Fudge both very tanky here on the front line. Seos has lost half of his health now as well. Palafox and Bvoy not wanting to put too much damage into the Drake as it continues just harassing whoever might be nearby. Knock up onto FNB. Contractz jumps in over the wall as FNB is taken down. Fudge grabs the kill. Shopify Rebellion with a 1-0, removing the enemy front line. Still looking for a little bit more. The Impale is only onto Fudge. Bvoy needs a little bit more damage, and the Decimating Smash will not find a target. Shopify continues chasing after their opponents, but the Red Canids disengage.
A good 2.5 minutes there from Shopify as they position up onto the Dragon while still pushing mid-wave, and so they opt for the macro play. Rift Herald right down mid. They got that tower. After the play, Palafox is going to collect more gold on bottom side. That is 3 successive objectives there for Shopify, in addition to getting the kill onto the Cho'Gath, chasing down that front line.
4 turrets to 0 now. That's definitely the gold lead pretty much in its entirety. So a lot of standing gold for Red if they're able to win another team fight. But I like the way that Shopify slow played that. There was no over-engage trying to force the Vi Ziggs combo. They just used the poke of the Ziggs and the Ezreal and dared Red to come into them, eventually just poking down the entire Cho'Gath health bar.
And Jatt, you mentioned last game that in all the first 3 games, it was Red Canids Kalunga that got the empowered boots, that got the feats of warfare. This time around, it's Shopify Rebellion who are finally first to the shoes shop and managed to get themselves something better than normal. As Frosty has to try to get away, X marks the spot defensively, jumping back towards where Fudge was. Shopify maintaining control over this topside wave, getting it pushed out. Bvoy, a very powerful game state right now for him with the Trinity Force plus Muramana combo. You can see FNB down in the bottom side of the map, looking to take out the first turret of the game here for Red Canids. Frosty goes for that Bone Skewer yet again, just finds a little bit of harass and gets back.
I mean, Red is just wasting their time right now. The thought would be to force the teleport out by starting the Otacon, but Shopify is not willing to do that, so it is an uncontested side wave full of gold for FNB.
He's just continuing to go and go and go. Fudge ulti ready to lead the charge as Seos jumps in. Kaze is going to be your target. Remember, there's no flash here with the Viktor. Contractz swoops in and they find their first kill. Now Doom's going to be the next target here for Shopify as FNB teleports in to join in and he's ready to fight back. Fudge down to 1/3 HP as Rabelo finds a few auto attacks, but they don't have anybody low enough just yet. FNB looking for the opportunity to use the feast. Contractz jumps back over the wall here with the ball breaker. Seos barely staying alive with 20 HP. Doom with an impale only on Fudge. Decimating smash in retaliation. Fallbreaker to follow it up, but Contractz has another one. Enemy mid laner and jungler down. Shopify Rebellion don't lose a man.
Oh, these are close fights. There are so many tanks and so much poke from Shopify, but they are playing on the edges, and they have started up this Otacon. I think they should be able to get it. 20 seconds on Doom. Red is looking to come back onto the map, though.
Otacon half HP. Bvoy and Contractz do plenty of damage to this. Fudge is just ready to be the distraction.
And I think the difference in this last one, we see the advantage of over-committing to a play, as we might get another chase down, actually.
Yep, we got another fight breaking out. Palafox the target there from Frosty, but there's no follow-up from the rest of the Red Canids. FNB at 40% HP, continuing to try to run as the True Shot Barrage finds a Mega Inferno Bomb. Not enough. FNB was on the edge instead of the sweet spot. So Shopify Rebellion, they will secure themselves the Otacon. 29-8 in Flower Petals is also a big injection of power that does not show up on that scoreboard otherwise.
And they got the better setup to the team fight because they had camped everyone here really, really early. So Seos and Bvoy in the brush with a control ward, and Seos is the one who started out on Kaze, and then they just full commit following up, everybody jumping in afterwards. Deleting the Viktor so early means as long as you can kite back and reset the fight, you will have a huge advantage. And they do just that. Look at the Ezreal and the Ziggs throwing basically cover fire while Fudge and Seos are trying to get out of range, trying to reset. And then FNB a little bit on the miscalculation. Seos barely had enough HP to live. And so then by the time Doom gets a pull, there's no damage behind Doom, and he's pulling in Fudge. So it's the full win on the fight for Shopify.
Yeah, so close. Then they overstay, and we get yet another fight. So these teams are ready. And I love seeing the smile out of Palafox because this team looked so dejected after that Game 3 loss. I also wanted to check in on the damage, and this is what I expected to see. Bvoy has been landing everything on this Ezreal. This is him just hitting the Cho'Gath and the Skarner over and over again, having a great game on this pick.
Bvoy is definitely hitting right now, and he's hitting Frosty, who has to jump away once again. And Pyke, as you get later into the game, Pyke can definitely be just a liability. Sometimes you can get a really good hook.
Whoa, hold on. We're just going all the way in. FNB, the target of the massive burst from Shopify is plenty enough to get it done. Doom's the second one to go right after. A double kill for Bvoy again. Shopify Rebellion are just going to keep pushing. Kaze is up in the top lane trying to take the tier 1 and get something back. Inhibitor now under fire. Here in the bottom lane, it's only Frosty and Rabelo looking to try to stop this and save the Nexus turrets, but the first one is already about to die. Shopify Rebellion push all the way to the enemy Nexus before Red Canids push them back.
They might have a lot of that confidence back. They do need to retreat to go get this Drake as FNB and Doom are going to respawn. Red's looking for something.
Yeah, Fudge gets taken low there. You can see Kaze using the Arcane Storm with the laser very aggressively. He uses his health down to about 1/3 and then knows he can't chase any further.
Yeah, Bvoy here wants to kill this Pyke again. He's been outplaying the Pyke all game long, juking everything, threatening death upon him. If that hits, that...
Whoa. Got the flash, though.
Yeah.
You can feel, they're feeling the pressure as well, Jatt. You know, this would push it to a silver scrapes, and this could push it to the deciding game here, and them now Red being backs against the wall, Frosty feeling it a little bit too.
And there is so much significance for this game. It is the culmination of the entire year for these teams. Loser is eliminated. The 4 teams here, Red, SR, as well as 100 Thieves who won yesterday, they're fighting for that last world slot and a chance at the LTA championship, but Shopify needs to win the next 2 games or their year's over, and Red needs to win one of the next 2 or their year's over as well.
And Bvoy with his 3 items, with his Muramana completed and transformed, and his armor penetration and the extra slow with the Shireldas.
That's a lot you're listing off there. He's got a bunch of bullet points there.
He is the Shopify hope and power. Wait, I thought there was going to be a play Contractz. You can see on the minimap was like right next to Kaze, the Viktor, but they decided not to go for it. I think that Bvoy and Contractz, that's one of those moments where you have an opportunity, but you don't want to risk it.
Yeah. Well, we do have now a 4.3 thousand gold lead for Shopify on the scoreboard, and you saw the graphic pop up after that base push. It's about 1,900 gold worth of just extra raw adaptive force through the pedal advantage that Shopify have earned for themselves. So we're looking at about 6,000 extra gold value in combat power for Shopify Rebellion as they set up around the Baron.
Yeah, not to mention Frosty has had those 4 kills on Pyke, so they don't necessarily have gold distribution on their carries. Rabelo there, you can see, 2.6 thousand gold below his counterpart in Bvoy. That is definitely in the favor of Shopify.
Yeah. The later you get into games, Pyke is just like an annoying bug to be squashed, and can be squashed really quickly.
Well, they try to engage here in the enemy jungle, but Red Canids disengaging. Critically, though, costs the flash from Rabelo, so the Zeri no longer having that summoner spell. Doom with no flash of his own either. Shopify are really putting the pressure on Red Canids here in the enemy jungle, just trying to force out these powerful tools. Fudge is happy to step up and just be annoying to these guys here. Control wards still being placed down by Red as they fight desperately to cling to control over the red side jungle.
Shopify have very good poke here, so even though Fudge gets locked up,
yeah, Fudge does take a pretty significant amount of damage here, but the Sion is so tanky, he can still walk it off.
Yeah, and thinking about this game, it is by no means over. The Viktor scaling is still really strong. There's only 2 Drakes on the side of Shopify. I feel like if there's one big fight in the side of Red, they'd slingshot right back ahead in the gold lead with the Zeri and the Viktor scaling plus their front line. So Shopify have to continue to play clean and pick good fights.
And what they're doing right now is just trying to make this Baron Pit the scariest place on Summoner's Rift. Still with the 4,000 gold lead, still 2 minutes away from the next dragon spawning, so it's not like their attention is required elsewhere on the map. That bottom lane inhibitor is still dead for about another minute and a half, so they have the extra free pressure from the super minions over there as well. Shopify want to keep Red guessing about this Baron.
Yeah, it's free pressure for Shopify, but it's free gold for Red if they go to collect it, because Shopify can't get anything there, so there is a little bit of a bit of pressure that I feel like Shopify should be feeling, and Red is trying to just slowly check for vision. They have 2 blue trinkets that still are off cooldown. Frosty actually just gets a free ward into a brush that has everyone in it because he was using his stealth very well. So Red is not necessarily sweating right now with the way they're controlling this vision, as a bunch of top lane minions for Shopify die.
It's also so annoying to take the Baron when Skarner is alive as the enemy jungler because of how easy it is for him to try to tunnel through the wall and just steal it away. But Shopify, they're going to start up this objective. Yes, Skarner Cho'Gath is a pain, man. True Shot Barrage flies through, but honestly, not a whole lot of value out of that one there for Bvoy. But as long as he continues hitting these Mystic shots, he's going to be doing plenty of damage still. Red Canids thinking about their approach. FNB, 60% health. Doom tries to swoop in from the side here, but he's not going to find anybody. Seo's ready to control him, keep Bvoy and Palafox protected. Doom on the front line gets the Impale onto 2. Contractz is already down. Doom's going to be traded back for him as Fudge soaks a ton of damage here on the front line, but he is finally going to die. Seos falls down too. Bvoy can't get in range to do the rest of the damage as Kaze flashes back over the wall. Palafox is ready to follow with a nice bouncing bomb. Rabelo about to fall here against Bvoy, and flashes over the wall to avoid the stun. Frosty can't quite get him. Bvoy stays alive. It's AD carry versus AD carry as FNB had to go back to base, and both of the ADs are at 0 HP. True Shot Barrage barely doesn't collide. It's a bloodbath in the topside jungle.
Bvoy with the heroics at the end. Bvoy refuses to lose.
I gotta say though, Red did win the fight. They had shutdown bounties, they get more kills, they get their inhibitor to respawn, Baron is still alive, and the Viktor damage in that fight was out of control. So now only a 1,500 gold lead with the Drake spawning in 10 seconds. We're gonna see another brawl.
Right back to it, here we go. Dragon coming up. This one, it's not the actual soul, so they don't have to full commit, but you have that feeling that they just are.
I mean, looking at that last fight, it feels like Red Canids is back in it because the Viktor...
Oh, no teleport for Viktor. So Viktor's not coming. So Viktor's not coming. They're not going to fight it.
They're giving the Drake.
Okay.
Everybody calm down.
All right. No, like you said, no soul. It's just soul point. It's not the soul itself. So that one is going to get knocked down there by Shopify Rebellion. And now, gentlemen, we have another 5 minutes of Baron dance time.
That fight was so long, I don't think we have time to replay it. I think it just exists in our memories. Yeah, I don't think we get to see it again.
It was a very long
good confirmation. It's too long. They're not showing a replay.
Yeah, that was crazy. The Viktor ultimate got so big so quickly off of killing the front line that only Palafox and Bvoy alive at the end. Here we go, though. Red, this is what matters. It comes down to the next team fight.
Yeah, Red pushing forward as a 5-man unit. Fudge looking for the flank here on the pincer if he can find it. FNB's not going to be the ideal target. FNB and Doom both just so tanky on the Cho'Gath and the Skarner here for the front line. Kaze also over 3,000 HP on his Viktor. This was the expectation we mentioned at the start of the game. Viktors like to build tanky items, especially against these Vi types of compositions. So Kaze wants to make sure that he cannot be one-shot. Also with the Seeker's arm guard in his inventory, makes it so difficult to get that one-shot on him. But total damage, again, man, it's just Bvoy absolutely cleaning house.
And again, these are poke champions too, so you need to get that value out of the Ezreal and the Ziggs. Try and get some poke damage ahead of the full commitment of the fight.
And I think that chart shows the way that Shopify needs to play these fights. While there's a temptation to go for the Ezreal ult, Vi ult, Ziggs ult, one-shot onto a squishy, they really just have to play these fights slow, because they do have so much more range with the Ezreal and the Ziggs. But that gets increasingly difficult when Doom has the Warmog's armor, and FNB, even though he doesn't have a Warmog's armor, has 6,000 health.
Yeah, Bvoy completing his Bloodthirster here now, though. This could be very important for making sure that he stays alive in these super close, long fights. The extra power of the lifesteal to keep the health bar topped off, alongside the shielding that's just going to make it so if there is any of these random Zeri zaps, Viktor lasers, anything that might be able to clip him, it won't be nearly as effective at establishing that meaningful poke. 3 minutes left on the clock until we do have the next Drake spawn. That one will be the Cloud Soul for Shopify. Would be very powerful for them to pick up.
And this does change things a bit here. Guardian Angel on Contractz levels up that strategy I was talking about to a little bit more powerful, because he can actually just sacrifice himself if he sees the angle on Zeri, because he can just revive with Guardian Angel afterwards if they go for the triple ultimate play. But it does have to be on Zeri. Viktor a little bit too much on the base HP now, and then if you don't pull it off, he has a Zhonya's as well.
You see that Cho'Gath demolish? It's a half the turret. He's like,
we have 6,000 HP. Your arm's pretty big to punch the building with.
All right, look at Contractz actually from the top side. There's a control ward. If he Qs over the back of the Krug's wall, he's on vision.
Okay.
Run.
Get out of there, bro.
Contractz is spotted. He's got to try to take the blast cone and get away from this, but he's caught out by the Ishtal impact. Contractz loses his Guardian Angel for free as the rest of Shopify tries to show up to rescue him. He vault breaks back over the wall. Kaze losing 2/3 of his own HP, and now FNB is going to be the target. Shopify Rebellion still scrapping a little bit here, but Contractz so low. Kaze, he doesn't get hit by the middle part of the Mega Inferno Bomb. No sweet spot, no kill. Contractz' Guardian Angel saves his life, but it still costs his flash.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that control, I felt like he was going to queue over there. And then when you see a ward, your reaction is to kill it, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes late game, especially late game, you should run away from the ward.
The ward is scary.
Wards are scary late game. So as you said, Flowers, those are really critical cooldowns. Guardian Angel cooldown, Flash cooldown. Those are some of the longest in the entire game. And that is a victory for Red, getting those out of Contractz.
And what we just saw Pyke do as well, as much as in team fights, late game Pyke doesn't feel like much, he's still one-shotting wards. So he's still with the Umbral Blade doing a lot of control vision. So it has powers that we can't see in these games. He cleared the vision out with Contractz losing his flash there. They've reestablished the control ward. They have a bunch of vision on Baron, so they're not stressing that much about this. Where the stress does come in is 50 seconds to this next Cloud Soul. And Contractz, with no flash and no GA, is rather far up.
Yeah, he's got to be careful about how much Gromp gaming he wants to engage in, because a little bit of an overstay, you can get caught out if Skarner digs through the wall. If there's a Cho'Gath rupture and you're spotted and you don't know it, all of a sudden it is lights out. FNB thinking about walking into the jungle here as now he flashes away. Fudge is all threatening the front line here. FNB though still at 2/3 HP. It's hard to make a move on the Cho'Gath. Fudge zoning everybody else from Red away from the more valuable members of his team. Bvoy gets hit with a rupture, but he buffers through it with the Arcane Shift. FNB still at about half health. Red sweeping around from the side, seeing if they might be able to catch Shopify unaware. It's only a single Bone Skewer from Frosty as Shopify move back into this bottom river to look to take the Drake.
Yeah, good chunk on Cho'Gath, but he's going to base TP and come back with full health. So it's, again, just 5v5 eye contact to see how much poke Shopify can land before this Drake gets started.
All right, let's see what we get here. True Shot Barrage fired through, but it only finds FNB. Seos hanging around on the backside of the Dragon Pit. Wanted to wait there and make sure that they weren't getting pincer attacked from anybody on the Red Canids side. Doom looking for an angle to maybe tunnel through the wall here as FNB is going to continue to be your front line and soak the poke. Doom goes in for the Impale, but he does not find the right target. Now Doom taking a ton of burst. He's nearly killed, but he stays alive for now. The Arcane Storm doing a work on Contractz. FNB still here on the front line. Kaze, Doom, FNB all also close to death, but nobody's down here just yet. Shopify
Soul. They're just going for
Rebellion,
Soul.
they're still looking to move forward. Seos does die. Rabelo gets the kill on the enemy support. Shopify still trying to burn down the dragon. It's going to be secured by Contractz. FNB wanted to get the feast, but he can't quite find it. Now Fudge wants to get away over the wall, but he can't do it. Rabelo goes on a killing spree. Yes, it's a Cloud Soul for Shopify Rebellion, but at what cost?
Well, Baron is on the table, so the cost could be tremendous. Seos, they saw him go into that brush with control ward, so even though there's a control ward in there, they felt like he was still in there, and they pull him out. Now they're going to start the Baron up. Bvoy getting kind of low on mana, but will try and poke.
I don't see how they can realistically stop this with 2 players dead and how much health exists on red, but Bvoy is at least trying, and Contractz does have smite.
Okay, they do some decent damage there, but a frosty Palafox with a big kill on the enemy support. Kaze looking for Bvoy, but he can't find him. Contractz and Palafox still in position here in the river, and it looks like Red Canids are going to be forced away from the objective. The Baron is halted in its tracks. Bvoy shifts forward right onto a rupture, but there's no opportunity for Red Canids to punish. Now you've got Seos back in the mix here as well, and Shopify Rebellion hold the line.
Now they're on the Baron, so red is pressured to go for it. Remember, the Cloud Soul does give them all this extra speed, and I think they're just gonna get it.
I think you're right. Shopify Rebellion. Even losing 2 at the Dragon fight, it is Palafox and Bvoy that just blow this Pyke up. This champion has so little life that if you catch him with a couple of shots, I believe it is 3 skill shots total, they burst him down. The ultimate at the end does kill him, but here's how they lost the first kills. First at Shopify, getting this flash out of Doom and getting the pressure themselves.
Yeah, but I'd also say that Rabelo's Zeri did 8,000 damage throughout the entirety of this team fight. So the Zeri is definitely online. And it's Seos who's just around the back. I think a bit of a split call of Shopify saying, maybe we'll continue the fight, maybe we'll finish the Drake. Thank God he gets that smite though, so they have the Cloud Soul after Fudge ends up falling as well. So what a banger game. If Shopify loses this, their year is over. They're under so much pressure right now.
Okay, so Bvoy got an E auto Q on him, and then the Ziggs ult.
That's such the edge of that hitbox, man.
Was he spamming an emote there for a second? Did he not make it out of the edge?
He's been spamming emotes all game long,
If he gets caught there because of an emote spam, he's going to want that one back. Shopify Rebellion, they're pushing into the base from multiple different angles now. Tier 3 turrets dead in top lane and bottom lane. Remember that bottom lane inhibitor has respawned from a long time ago. Mid lane Tier 3 turret now destroyed as well. All 3 inhibitors exposed in the Red Canids base. Fudge just face tanking everything here in the mid lane, buying time. Kaze with a flash away, but he will not escape. Bvoy and Fudge. Seos dies for the cause, but the enemy mid laner and jungler are down. Bvoy and the rest of Shopify Rebellion looking for the game-winning push. That second Nexus turret should be respawned here. Believe that's just a graphical error. Top lane inhibitor, that'll be the next one to fall. FNB, Rabelo, and Frosty all scrambling to try to defend. Fudge, yeah, he gets pulled by the skewer, but he does not care. Second turret destroyed here with the Nexus. FNB trying to get away. The Cho'Gath is tanky, but is he tanky enough? No, sir, he is not. Frosty gets back into the fountain. Rabelo sent there by force. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to game 5.
I mean, Shopify lived to fight another game, and I saw that Ezreal locked in. We know that Bvoy is good at it. I'm sorry I didn't trust you, bro. I'm sorry I didn't trust you, Lounge. How did they do it?
Full confidence. Shopify Rebellion. Yeah, let's go.
I was gonna say, in fairness, I feel like we all called out the Ezreal as being like, this is a little low damage, guys. And Bvoy proved us wrong. Once again,
Mountain
on
of a carry.
a pick he hates playing, apparently.
It was just a masterclass. Like game 1, it looked like Fudge on Shopify was just smurfing.
Yep.
And then this game is just all like Bvoy. I feel like even towards the Baron at the end, Bvoy is literally just 1v5ing them at the Baron. He's just smurfing.
Ooh, and that topside jungle fight that was going crazy. It was like Bvoy had he had to be 1 HP. He was single digit HP at the end of it. He was playing out of his mind, and he may not like the pick. Fudge and whoever in his teammates being like, Ezreal is really good.